It's a Honduran cigar that's coming off of a very good rating from the Cigar Magazine. But will it make the grade here? Greetings everyone, I'm Bob Woods, managing editor and publisher of Stogied, as well as one of the national cigar examiners over at examiner.com. Today we are rating a cigar that actually came from one of our followers on Twitter. He is actually the winner of our first holiday contest. We'll have details about that a little later in the show. But in the meantime, Lloyd L., also known as Papa Lad on Twitter, this one is your cigar. Lloyd nominated the Alec Bradley family blend. It's the T11, and that's the one that specifically got high rankings. That's 6 1/8 inches by 52 ring gauge. It's a torpedo out of Honduras with a Honduran wrapper, a Honduran and Nicaraguan filler, and binder from Indonesia. We paid $8.50 for it at Signature Cigars in Rockville, Maryland. Now I picked this one in particular because it is hot. Cigar Aficionado rated it a 94, and that's a very, very high rating for a non-Cuban cigar. And it also is definitely flying off the shelves. In fact, when I was over at Signature on Friday after the contest closed, I got the last 5 of this particular type, the T11 that they had in stock there. So, and from what the owner there was telling me, these suckers are most definitely flying off the shelves. So I don't know if this review is going to help or hurt that, but we will definitely see about that. So, does it deserve the 94? Let's find out. Before we do that though, we usually pair our cigars with some type of drink or libation. Doesn't have to be alcoholic, it just has to complement or sometimes even contrast with what we are smoking in terms of the review. Today we're definitely going for the complement, and we're not going with alcohol either. We are actually going with coffee. And this one is from our new friend at Johnny, his name is Johnny Milton. He is at baristaonduty.com. You're seeing the web address for that on the screen as we speak, and as I pour this, my God, that smells great. We're specifically having the Etho Limo, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but the Etho Limo today. Johnny says that because the Alec Bradley family brand is it's definitely a fuller cigar, a stronger cigar, that the complexity and the wininess of this Etho Limo, plus the fact that it has an edge, and a stronger edge, and I haven't tried it yet, so we'll find out about that in a second. It should definitely stand up to a cigar like this. Now, just like cigars, there's all types of things that go into selecting a coffee to go with a particular cigar, and I'm hardly the expert for that, but Johnny definitely knows what he's talking about, so I definitely suggest that you go to his website at baristaonduty.com, and there's a lot of good information there about his products and about what he does. I think he's going to be doing some coffee and cigar pairings himself too, although he'll be going much more with the coffee, where, you know, we kind of like our scotch and beer here too. Although coffee's great, we're going to do some water in the future and stuff like that too. So we're definitely not all about the alcohol here at the review. So with that in mind, we are going to give this a quick sippy sip. Oh wow, that is good. There's definitely a little acidity bite there that's very pleasant. I actually haven't sweetened this. Normally I sweeten it a little bit. I wanted to get the full flavor of it with the cigar though, and you know, just judging by other medium and full-bodied cigars, this particular blend would definitely stand up to those. So with that, we're going to have this while we smoke our cigar, and so let's get to the ratings. It's time to judge the aesthetics of the cigar here, and I would say that it's a little veiny. It definitely looks very nice. It's got a nice, more modern. It's got a nice, more modern ring on it as well. It's a torpedo. The cap on it looks very good, and it's definitely a more chocolatey, I'd say, in appearance and judged and based on that, I think I'm going to give it a 4.6 in terms of aesthetics. It's a very, very good looking cigar. If you see it on the shelf somewhere, you're definitely going to want to pick it up. Construction-wise, I actually touched on it a little bit already. The cap on it for a torpedo is very good. It does maintain the little bit of the pigtail that all of the family blends have, and very nicely weighted, very solidly put together. For construction, we are definitely going to give this a 4.6 as well. You're not going to go wrong. I say that all the time with cigars, but generally speaking, when it comes to the premium ones, you're not going to go wrong. There's just, you know, little bits of differences in terms of how they're constructed. This one is most definitely very, very well constructed. It's time for the pre-burn now, and one of the things that I like about torpedoes is that you just kind of naturally get more cigar, more tobacco rather, off of the top because it all comes up to that head, and you're supposed to cut down a little bit more, so you can definitely get a good pre-burn off of it. So let's put a torch. Man, I barely touched that and it's going already. It's a little windy, but I could definitely tell it's actually, it smells much more than just like regular cigar smoke. You know how a good premium cigar smells. It just, you know, for people who like that kind of thing, it smells very good. I'm actually getting elements of wood, more wood than tobacco off of it, and it's a very good, very pleasant smell. So the pre-burn, I think, oh, let's just put it in Spanish. It's muy delicioso, as I probably slaughtered that. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and we are going to torch this puppy up. Okay, just got this lit. Definitely a tobacco taste, which sounds redundant, but a lot of times you don't get true tobacco taste out of cigars, especially lighter cigars. So this definitely imparts more of a tobacco taste. Definitely has a bit of leather in there as well. I am getting some spice, some pepper too, actually. And amidst all of that, it's kind of funny. Yeah, there's actually some sweetness there too. It might be actually coming from the wrapper, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely getting some sweetness definitely on the edge of my lips there, which actually contrasts it very nicely. It's just a nice little undercurrent, and it's very, very good. It's actually really, really good. In fact, it's so good that I'm going to give it a 4.7. Just from everything that I've seen so far, it definitely looks like that this cigar rather is going to stand up to what Cigar Aficionado rated it. I think it's going to get a very, very good rating from me as well. So that's it for the flavor start part of the cigar. We'll be back in a couple minutes with the mid part, although for you it'll be happening right about now. More like now, actually. We are at the midpoint of this cigar, and actually before I talk about the midpoint specifically, the coffee in the cigar, oh yeah. Plus with it being cold outside and everything, the coffee definitely tastes good. In fact, with the sweetness at the beginning, it was really good. The sweetness has gone away at the midpoint here. It actually complements even more. I mean, it did, the coffee did pick up the sweetness a little bit at the beginning, but now with that we're at the midpoint, and now that it's kind of gone away and just kind of blended more, it's really, really good. It's an excellent match. In terms of the flavor profile overall, everything is still there. The spice and the pepper is coming on a little bit more. I'm also getting some type of wood there. I'm trying to call it cedar just because it's the only wood that I can normally taste when I'm smoking a cigar, but there's definitely a bit of a wood characteristic coming out of it as well. Still excellent, excellent cigar. Gonna give it a 4.7 at the midpoint here, and you know, we're just going to keep rocking with it. Very, very good cigar. Okay, we're at the end of the cigar now, and it's getting cold outside, so I'm going to try to wrap all this up pretty quick. We're going to give it a 4.6 in terms of its flavor at the end. Did get a little bit stronger, not necessarily objectionably so, but it was definitely very, very, very good. That's 3 varies all the way throughout the cigar. Okay, real quick, finger burner time. I did take it all the way down to the nub, so I'm definitely going to say, yeah, you know, oh yeah, it's definitely a finger burner. You're definitely going to get all the way through this cigar. It's not going to get overly strong at the very end. You're definitely going to get all your $8.50 worth out of it. Now, in terms of the overall rating, when all is said and done and we crunch it through the Stogied computer, the average comes out to be a 4.6. Now, I think that's the highest rating we've ever given to a cigar so far. And if you convert that over to the Cigar Aficionado scale, it comes out to a 92. Not quite at the 94 that they rated it, but we definitely hold this cigar in just as high of esteem as the fine cigar smoking professionals at Cigar Aficionado do. You know, I'm just an amateur just trying to make my way in the world. So, you know, take that as it will in terms of what you think of my reviews, but I definitely think about it just as much as the folks at CA do. Thumbs up or down time with the high rating and with the $8.50 per stick that I paid for them. You know, I definitely think it's a thumbs up. Definitely a good cigar. You get a good bang for the buck, a good smoke. It's not, you know, way overly expensive. And you know, just the right mix of a you know, good price, for some, I guess, depending on what your price tolerance is, but definitely a good flavored cigar. Now it's time to kind of let you in on what's going on with our cigar contests and giveaways and everything else. And I'm actually going to need my script for this because we've got quite a few things going on and I don't want to get anything mixed up. So our first sweepstakes, we're having a sweepstakes and a contest. Basically there's legal stuff behind that I'm not going to bore you with, but our first one is just our weekly cigar video review sweepstakes that runs from now through next Monday, which is December the 13th. I will announce the winner on Tuesday the 14th, and you're basically going to come to the site and follow the instructions to enter to win 2 of these Alec Bradley family blend cigars. So the address for that is www.stogied.com/Alec Bradley Family. Again, that's www.stogied.com/Alec Bradley Family. Our second little competition that we're having is actually a holiday contest where you nominate a cigar that you want us to review. That's how Lloyd is getting 2 Alec Bradley family blends this week. This is a weekly contest as well, just running through the holidays. This round runs through this Friday. We're in the current round right now, so it runs through Friday, December the 10th, with a new one starting on Saturday the 11th. I'll announce the winner on Tuesday the 13th when the review for the cigar I pick runs that day. You know, it's a little bit confusing when I say it. It looks a lot better when you're reading on the screen. So that's why I'm going to give you the following address so you can read more about it. It's www.stogied.com/holidaycontest2, the number 2. Again, www.stogied.com/holidaycontest2. It essentially involves you going onto Twitter and nominating a cigar for us to review. Well, I wish I could tell you what I'm reviewing next week, but you know, someone out there is going to decide what that is. And just based on the entries that I'm seeing so far for not only the first contest, but for this round of the contest, getting some really good ones in. So I'm really looking forward to the next couple of rounds of this through the holiday season. So until next time, I'm Bob Woods from Stogied and Examiner.com. Have a good day and puff and rotate often.